know if you know about Lincoln High School, but it basically has students that are very much like me, you know, disadvantaged, marginalized, but have great opportunities available to them. And they excel quite well. So I have a high school class, and I teach it with one of the teachers there. I had two my first year, but after that, just one of the teachers stayed on with me, Mrs. Hamilton, and she and I taught a street law class to high school students. And what I did a little different with my street law class is I brought in different players from the court and legal system into the classroom to interact with the students. I like really bringing the community and the court together. So we had law enforcement come in and talk about becoming a law enforcement officer. We even had was she an FBI agent or a special, what they call them, I forgot. But we had, she's presently now an investigator with the AG's office, the Attorney General's office, and I've had corrections officers from Pierce County Corrections come in and talk to students. I've had judges from all different levels of the courts, to include the Supreme Court prior to me getting there. We've had prosecutors, defense attorneys. I wanted them to see the law as an option for them as far as becoming a participant, you know. And one of the students in my first year went on to UW to pursue law. And I thought that was great because Justice Sonia Sotomayor came up. She also is at the head of an I-Civics class, the entire course, and she came up. And one of the students, I said I can take one student, and he was the best performing student that year. And the teacher and I took him, and he got to meet her. And next thing I know, he was graduating because it was a high school senior class, and he got into UW, and he is hoping to pursue law at some point in time. One of the things I really enjoy doing with students is letting them know that they're capable of doing anything they put their minds to. There's something I always say to my students: failure is not an option. It's an opportunity to succeed. So don't be afraid to try. Because if you fail, that just means you learned something and you can do it better the next time. And I've had many failures, and it's okay to own them. But by telling them about it, makes them realize, you know what, I can do this, and it's okay if I don't get it the first time, maybe the second time, and even the third. Keep trying. You know, you don't always get what you want right away, but if you stay focused and stay on your path, you'll get there. That's an interesting story. I never thought of becoming a lawyer. I thought I'd be a teacher, which is why I probably decided as an extrajudicial activity to get into a school so I can interact with students. But I was working at an accounting firm in Bellevue, and because my background is international marketing, and I couldn't get a job when I moved to Washington State in my field. So I took a job at an accounting firm doing accounts receivable. And one of the partners at that firm was also a lawyer. And at the end of the time when I did this particular project for him, he said, you know, you have really good analytical skills. Have you considered law school? And I just looked at him and I was like, that was my mother's dream. But where did you go? And he mentioned UPS. I had no idea there were 3 law schools in the state of Washington. I did my little research. I found UPS was now Seattle U Law. I applied, I got in, and the rest is history. You know, but it's just somebody putting a little bug in your ear and letting you know, hey, I think you can do this, worked. But I'll tell you, it wasn't easy because I don't have family here. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. And what I did was do the research in regards to getting into law school, and then I realized you had to take the LSAT examination, and there's a course you had to take that costs money. Well, I didn't have the money, but I had a library card. So I went into the library, I took out the book, and I kept renewing it, and I would sit in my kitchen, at my kitchen table every night after work, and I would work through that book. And I took the LSAT, got my grades, applied to Seattle U, and got in. And law school hasn't been easy. It wasn't easy for me. I had 3 jobs. You know, I really am an immigrant. I had 3 jobs all the way through. I was raising 4 girls with my ex at the time. And, you know, you just have to work towards it. I would go to school, I would come home. Well, one of the things I tell my students as well, and as I was talking about sacrifices, is sometimes things don't always come to you. You work hard and you think this is mine, and it doesn't always come to you when you want it, the way you want it. And you have to be flexible. And I'll give you an example. When I graduated from law school, I had a job opportunity. A job was waiting for me with the city of Tacoma prosecutor's office. And then there was a hiring freeze. And I got a part-time position at the city of Olympia prosecutor's office. So I drove and I got down to Olympia every day and I did that part-time position. And anytime you do something, do the best that you can. So I put my best efforts forward. Little did I know that that would be the contact, one of those prosecutors, to get me to Island County, because she knew a prosecutor there who was looking for an attorney, and here I was. Didn't know where Island County was, but I'll take the job. Interviewed over the phone, got in my car, then I realized I'm driving two and a half hours every day. So then I decided I was going to move. Well, I'm in Island County after putting in about a year. And I get a call from a friend who saw me when I was in school working for the city of Tacoma prosecutor's office. And he said, "Hey, where are you?" And I said, "I'm in Island County. Are you interested in coming back to Pierce County? We have an opening. I think you'd be great." Interviewed over the phone. Never did public defense work. I was doing prosecution. Got the job. Got in my car, drove right back and got a place right back to Pierce County where I started. You know, you meet people on your journey and you never know where they're going to end up and where you're going to end up. The last Supreme Court justice prior to my appointment, not Justice Wiggins, whose position I got, Justice Mary Fairhurst, I met her my first year in law school. Remember I said I had 3 jobs? Well, one job was a teaching assistant for a criminal law professor. The second job was working nights at a bank doing 10-key. And the third job was a law clerk for the AG's office in Olympia, working for the Corrections Division back then. It's now called the Criminal Justice Division. And one of the attorneys I worked under was Justice Mary Fairhurst. She was an AG at the time. And every year she would send me a card and she maintained contact. And that's how you learn, by how your mentors mentor you and you mentor on. So that is something I do as well. But you never know where you're going to end up. And you always have to be flexible, because the job that you're looking for or the job that you think you want may not be the job for you at that time. But it's getting you ready for something even bigger. And that's what has happened throughout my journey. Start small, and there was never a job that I thought I was above doing. You know, you just work hard, you do the job, and always try and put your best foot forward. I've been what some folks I guess have said, I've been a trailblazer, in that I've always been the first one of me in the room. And I never gave thought to that. But when I think about how I handled myself on my journey, I realize not only was I the first of my kind in whatever position I had coming to this point where I end up being the first again, but I've always opened the door for others. And in order to be able to open the door for others, you have to keep the bar high. So you're carrying your mentees on your shoulder as you move forward, because you have to show others that by having you there, you're not going to be taking anything away from them. You're actually making it better for all. And that's been my trajectory, and I continue doing that. And I always tell my mentees, there's one thing I ask of you, because they ask me to mentor them, and I'm always going to be available to mentor. But I always tell them, you see how I'm open and accessible to you? You have to do the same for the next one. It is a pipeline that's being created of us helping each other move forward and become better at whatever we do. But it has to be service-oriented, because we are public servants.